Mitchell.
I move that the question be now put.
I'm going to hear from Brendan Horan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In taking a first call on this part 1 of the bill, I want to look at clauses 3 to 8 of the bill. So I understand, sir, that the debate is quite tight, and we are looking at the definitions in clause 3 and the purposes and principles relating to network security and interception capability in clauses 5 to 8. Now, I have to say, Mr. Chair, that I am unable to support the bill and unable to support this part 1 for the reasons which I will outline. But I will start with clause 4. The heading of 4 words says, Act binds the Crown. The clause itself adds only 1 word, sir, this, to read, this Act binds the Crown. Sir, surely the purpose and principles of this bill cannot be for John Key to have his own private fiefdom, effectively with New Zealand spies subject to no oversight, no constraint, no law. Sir, in clauses 5 and 6, which relate to the purpose of the Act in relation to interception capability and principles which must be applied in relation capability, it is apparent that the spy agency must be allowed to intercept anything, anywhere, any time. And that, sir, is a clear threat to New Zealand's economic well-being, our future opportunities. The very legislation that members opposite would have us believe would protect our law-abiding citizens is in fact entirely the opposite. Sir, prior to the release of this bill, there was a salivating opportunity for New Zealand to take advantage of our position, to take advantage of our isolation, and in fact possibly become the information holding capital of the world. We could have held and reinvented economic systems. Take accounting systems, sir, which currently are all designed in analogue. And, sir, with the relevancy, the intimacy, conveniency and transparency that big data and the cloud represent, the future was indeed looking bright. Thousands, in fact tens of thousands of jobs were possible, but not given the way that clauses 5 and 6 are written. According to the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Enterprise, the New Zealand Information Technology and Services sector employs just over 22,000 people and has a growth rate of 8.7% annually. Salaries are double the national average, and research and development investment is triple the New Zealand average. With clause 5 and 6 in this bill, this national government threatens jobs, innovation and the future of the cloud in New Zealand. Sir, we are moving into an era where we will soon all have our own personal cloud. How do we protect intellectual property from the spy agencies who will have unlimited interception capability under clauses 5 and 6? Who, sir, will be communicating, cooperating and collaborating with significant others from across the world on matters of innovation when that information can be stripped by the GCSB and immediately shared, sir, with agencies from other countries? How can it be that New Zealand companies will now have to design networks and systems for the conveniency of the government spy agency? How can we compete with the rest of the world when this government is imposing that sort of Cold War Russian-style oppressive legislation? Who oversees? What people, what businesses would want to adopt, deliver or deploy innovative information to a New Zealander under the degree of surveillance that this bill allows? This bill, sir, is madness. And the sad thing is that it all could have been avoided if the government had consulted with the broad sector of New Zealand information technology businesses, the sector which could deliver our economic future rather than just the one-dimensional telcos. The purpose and principles of this bill should have been inspiring, but instead, given the increasing reliance of businesses on software and as a service, this bill will have a disastrous effect on New Zealand companies that provide internet-enabled technologies and services. And so, sir, to this government, on behalf of all New Zealanders, I plead, please do not pass and rush this legislation that casts a dark cloud over our digital sector's future. Instead, provide New Zealand with a bill that inspires confidence and investment. The job of this government should be simple, sir.
Thank you. I want to pick up on the issue that my colleague Chris Farfoy was talking about.